In need of great talent for your business but short on time? You don't have to get lost in a huge stack of resumes to find your perfect hire. You just need the right tools, smarter tools. ZipRecruiter posts your job to over 100 of the web's leading job boards with just one click. Then ZipRecruiter actively looks for the most qualified candidates and invites them to apply. They even review every application to identify the top candidates so you never miss a great match. That's why ZipRecruiter is different. Unlike other hiring sites, ZipRecruiter doesn't depend on the right candidates finding you. It finds them. No wonder 80% of employers who post on ZipRecruiter get a quality candidate through the site in just one day. ZipRecruiter, the smartest way to hire. Find out today why ZipRecruiter has been used by businesses of all sizes and industries to find the most qualified candidates with immediate results. And right now, my listeners can post jobs on ZipRecruiter for free. That's right, free. Just go to ZipRecruiter.com/Stephen A. That's with a PH, not a V. That's ZipRecruiter.com/Stephen A. One more time to try it for free. Go to ZipRecruiter.com/Stephen A. That's with a PH, not a V.
You're listening to the Stephen A. Smith Show podcast.
Time for Straight Talk, brought to you by Straight Talk Wireless. Best phones, best networks, no contracts. We got a lot of stuff coming at you today. I am coming at you live from Radio Row in Minneapolis, Minnesota, Mall of America, site of Super Bowl 52 this Sunday between the New England Patriots against the Philadelphia Eagles. Obviously, we got some stuff to get into in regards to the Super Bowl talk, particularly when you consider what Robert Kraft had to say about the great Tom Brady. Because basically stripping power from Bill Belichick's hands, saying that Tom Brady can stay for as long as he wants. And he's not going to be forced out. It's not going to ever be anything like that. It's going to be about, it's going to be about Tom Brady and what he wants to do. But I got a different story that's on my mind right now that has to lead the way. It has to lead the pack. There's no way around this. There's no way to avoid this, ladies and gentlemen. The news that came down the pike that the Golden State Warriors would talk to LeBron James about becoming a member of the Golden State Warriors. Now, before we get all over LeBron, let me say this. I made some calls this morning. I received some calls this morning. LeBron James had absolutely positively nothing to do with this story. He's not thinking about, nor is he considering going to the Golden State Warriors. This is a story that's emanating out of the camp of the Golden State Warriors, who put that out there to one of our reporters, Chris Haynes, essentially expressing their interest in the best player in the world. Now, you have to understand that this is what the Golden State Warriors do. When everybody's sleeping on a star and a possibility of him ending up with their franchise, they come through the back door and they get you. Look what they did with Kevin Durant a year ago. It's what they did. They said Kevin Durant, everybody talking about it in Los Angeles. Everybody talking about saying it OKC. Or he might go to Miami or Washington or to the Los Angeles Clippers. And the next thing you know, a 73-9 team that were champions before they lost in Game 7 of the NBA Finals scooped him up 3 weeks after beating him in the Western Conference Finals. So the mentality is that they would sit up there and say, you know what? What we will do is we will sit up there and we will think about this and we will pursue LeBron James. Having said all of that, there is 2 points that I want to make more than anything else. Point number one, LeBron James had better not even think about it. There is nothing that would tarnish his legacy worse than if he decided to make this move. Being the mercenary that he is, or the mercenary that people believe him to be, if he were to decide to go to the Golden State Warriors to even sit down and have a cup of damn coffee with them, it would be a disgrace. You got Kevin Durant, you got Klay Thompson, you got Steph Curry. I mean, joining that, it wouldn't even be fair. I mean, when you talk about the greatness, as Ric Flair, the Nature Boy, once said, on many occasions rather, to be the man, you've got to beat the man. If you want to join the man and you never want to compete against him, how the hell are you great? It cannot happen. It just cannot happen. Period. There's no way around it. LeBron can't let that happen. The other thing is this. If something like this could even happen, or were to happen, what do y'all think it would do to the NBA? Because I'm here to tell you, I don't think anything would be worse for the NBA than this. Don't give me how Magic played with Worthy and Kareem and all of this other stuff in the 80s. You competed against the Boston Celtics. And oh, by the way, while you were doing that, Magic was drafted. Worthy was drafted. Norm Nixon was on the team already before they brought Byron Scott to the mix. So I don't want to hear that. I don't even want to think about that. That's number one. But number two, and more importantly, why should anybody support the NBA? Why should anybody support the NBA product if something like this would have happened? You're taking away competition. Competition is what makes the sports world go round. Who the hell wants to watch just one lopsided contest after another? Can you compete with somebody, pretty please, with sugar on top? One of the reasons one of y'all want to see LeBron in the finals again is because guess what? He gets to go against Kevin Durant and the crew. One of the reasons you lament the greatness of the Warriors is because it doesn't seem like anybody that can compete with them. And we're starving for somebody to step up and actually compete with them. You take away that reality where there's absolutely positively nobody that's on their level. What the hell do you have? And as far as LeBron, let me say this, and I've stated this for the record. I'm not calling Kevin Durant any names. I never was. I know he's a great basketball player and a great person, but I thought specifically the move to the Golden State Warriors is the weakest move that I've ever seen by a superstar. If LeBron James would have ever go to the Golden State Warriors, this would eclipse that. This would eclipse that. Going to the enemy who's fully loaded without you, who spanked you, and by the end of June, it'll be 3 times in 4 years unless Cleveland fails to get to the finals. And then you turn around and join them. It is the epitome of weakness. It cannot be excused. It cannot be explained away. It cannot be okayed. And nobody should tolerate that. No, I don't think I don't. And I don't care what anybody says. You can't do it. You can't allow it. You talk about completely altering and disrupting the balance of power to the point where there's not even any competition, but you still want people to pay for the NBA product? Are you out your mind? It cannot happen. It cannot happen. So LeBron supposedly had nothing to do with this story. LeBron supposedly is not even remotely interested in the Golden State Warriors. And assuming that's true, and he deserves the benefit of the doubt, this is not a story coming from him. Let's hope and pray there's absolutely no shred of truth. And by the way, in fairness to reporter Chris Haynes out there covering the Warriors, he never said LeBron was considering anything. He said the Golden State Warriors will want to talk to LeBron, which I'm sure they would. But I have profound respect for the Warriors organization, Joe Lacob, Myers, the GM, Steve Kerr, the coach, etc. But damn, you're winning without LeBron. Do you really need him? I mean, talk about stacking the damn deck. This is doing a hell of a lot more than that. I mean, my God, do I have to pull out a Webster's dictionary and remind people of the definition of what the hell competition is supposed to be? I mean, I think I'm going to pull it up. I mean, I got an iPhone. I got all the apps in the world. I'm quite sure I got a dictionary app in here somewhere. I'm paraphrasing, but maybe I should look up the word competition. Maybe I should look up the word parity. I mean, what's the deal? Somebody needs to tell me. Somebody needs to explain this to me, because that's where I'm coming from with it. And all I'm saying to you is that you cannot have this. You cannot have a situation where you want this going on. I'm just looking up some of the definitions, y'all. I pulled out my phone and I looked up some of the definitions of the word competition. The act of competing, rivalry for supremacy, a prize, a contest for some prize, honor, or advantage. The rivalry offered by a competitor. These are definitions in the dictionary about competition. Tell me how the hell LeBron James going to the Warriors applies to any of that. You eradicate competition. And anybody out there, and I mean anybody out there, who has a competitive bone in their body that would endorse this kind of move being made, you should be ashamed of yourself. LeBron James had damn well better not be considering this. The Warriors had damn well better not pursue this. This is not good for basketball. This is not good for the NBA. This isn't good for sports. Not if this happens. I don't give a damn what anybody says. 888-729-3776. That's 888-SAY-ESPN. Straight Talk Wireless, nationwide coverage of America's largest and most dependable 4G LTE networks. This cannot happen. It cannot be allowed. I mean, it should be so egregious. LeBron should have a press conference talking about how despicable and disgusting such a notion is of him considering the Warriors. He should come out front and center and say, oh, hell no. This is not happening. I would never consider such a thing. Chances are, though, he won't. Because he likes his name in the news. He likes us talking about it. He likes giving folks heart attacks over the possibilities of his moves. Either way you slice it. I've covered the NBA for over 2 decades. And if LeBron James were to join, because you have to get rid of somebody in order to get him, just to create space. So we don't know if Draymond Green would be there. But if LeBron James were to join Kevin Durant and Steph Curry and Klay Thompson and Golden State Warriors, ladies and gentlemen, I don't think I'd watch the NBA for a year. I really don't. That's how adamant I am about this. And I mean it. 888-SAY-ESPN. We'll get into some NFL talk. My man Ryan Clark, NFL analyst for ESPN, will come on next to talk to us about the Super Bowl before I got to your phone calls. You are listening to Stephen A. live from Radio Row in Minneapolis, Minnesota. Very cold, very freezing Minneapolis, Minnesota. Inside the Mall of America. Minneapolis, Minnesota, site of Super Bowl 52. You're listening live to Stephen A. on ESPN Radio. By the way, you can get your Valentine's needs knocked out today, you know. One of the best flash sales that 1-800-Flowers.com has ever offered. Right now, you can score up to 60% off best-selling bouquets, arrangements, and gifts. That's right, 60% off select items that she's guaranteed to love. With an amazing selection of sweets, treats, and bouquets, 1-800-Flowers has everything you need for Valentine's. To order beautiful Valentine bouquets, arrangements, and gifts up to 60% off, go to 1-800-Flowers.com, please. Click the radio icon and enter code SAS. Order today and save at 1-800-Flowers.com. Code SAS.
Craving even more of Stephen A?
Him of all people.
For around-the-clock access to the man?
I'm Stephen A.
You can follow him on Twitter and Instagram at Stephen A. Smith and on Facebook at Stephen A.
Welcome back to the Stephen A. Smith Show right here on ESPN Radio, 888-729-3776. It's 888-SAY-ESPN. Let's go to my man Carlton in Tampa. You're live with Stephen A. What's up, Carlton? How are you?
I'm good, but I gotta.
You know what? I really resent. I shouldn't have taken your call because let me guess, it's about 80 degrees in Tampa right now, isn't it? Isn't it? Tell the truth, Carlton.
78. Yeah, 78.
Oh,
it's brutal
goodness.
here.
It's -2 here. -2. Go ahead.
I got a question. I got a question that Alex Trebek should use on Jeopardy, and the question is, which former Philadelphia sports writer and longtime Patriot Steeler fan is climbing the top 10 list of American traitors with a bullet as he is doing his best to get himself inducted into the New England Patriots Zombie Cult Sock Puppet Hall of Fame? And the answer to that question would be Stephen A. Smith, okay? ESPN, does that stand for the Extreme Spin Patriots Network? Is that what ESPN stands for nowadays?
Extreme Spin Patriot Network. That's a good one, Carlton. That's a good one. I beg to differ, but go ahead. Make your point.
Because while I'm highlighting other media enterprises like USA Today, who wrote a story yesterday hating the Patriots, New England's role as villain, and other networks which are covering the fact that Steve Spagnuolo, who was the linebackers coach of the Eagles when the Patriots last faced them in the Super Bowl, said he is convinced that they knew the defensive signals in the 2003 Super Bowl. Or other stories that have come out in the last day or two, like Orlando Pace, the left tackle of the Los Angeles Rams, saying that they were convinced that New England had filmed the walkthrough before the 2001 Super Bowl, the first one that the Patriots got. And, of course, we'd know all that if it had not Roger Goodell destroyed all the Patriots' videotapes that he confiscated. So we'd know if the walkthroughs were in that library. But, of course, he was carrying Robert Kraft's water. And speaking about Robert Kraft, The reason why he is now saying that Tom Brady can play as long as he wants is because he knows that Bill Belichick threw Tom under the bus for Bill Belichick's second major cheating scandal, Deflategate, back in 2015. And he knows Bill has been the architect behind all of their cheating enterprises out there. So he's siding with Tom as opposed to Bill now.
So in other words, Carlton, is that your way of saying that you believe that Tom Brady has more to do with the success of the New England Patriots than Bill Belichick all of these years?
Oh, he definitely has more to do with it. I mean, Tom Brady wasn't even Bill Belichick's pick. It was Bobby Greer who selected Tom Brady back in 2000, and Bill fired him 2 weeks. Bill fired him 2 weeks after the 2000 draft. So Tom Brady fell into his lap. He had no idea what he had until, of course, Mo Lewis put Drew Bledsoe in the hospital in the second game of the 2001 season.
Right. We only got 30 seconds, so go ahead, Carlton. Make your point.
And Bill's claim to fame, he has a losing record outside Tom Brady being his quarterback, a significant losing record. So, but I'm more focused on Stephen A. climbing the charts at the top 10 American traders with a bullet.
Wait until tomorrow.
Stephen A.
Wait until tomorrow, because boy, do I have something to show you on First Take and then right here on this radio show. You think you were disgusted with me before, Carlton. You wait until tomorrow. I've got something in store for you, buddy. I've got something in store for you. Until then, you take it easy.
You're listening to the Stephen A. Smith Show podcast.
Get the feeling of being rewarded with gold status at Shell and with the Fuel Rewards program. Download the Fuel Rewards app. Join and start saving 5 cents a gallon today. I've got some big news. It won't be the Monday after the Super Bowl Monday. But immediately following that, scheduled to begin next Tuesday on the Stephen A. Smith Show, ESPN Radio. The Love Doctor will be paying a visit up to Valentine's Day. You understand? Get on out of here. I'm the Love Doctor. Remember I stole an idea from Martin Lawrence, one of my favorite comedians of all time on the show, Martin. Remember the Love Doctor segment? And ever since then, I incorporated it into the show. And lo and behold, people have been clamoring for the Love Doctor. Now, we all know as Valentine's Day approaches, those of you who have significant others out there, those of you who may have lost your way, those of you who may be looking for the light because you have been living in darkness, the darkness of life without love for quite some time. You might be looking for a reprieve. My man Michael K., he won't admit this to you. Michael K., star radio host in 98.7 FM in New York City, who is the voice of the New York Yankees, who's got an afternoon drive show. He's phenomenal. I got news for y'all. Even Michael K. lacked love until he came to the Love Doctor. Because I'm here. The John Irelands of the world and the Marcellus Wileys of the world in L.A. I mean, love was not a part of their life until the Love Doctor. Till the Love Doctor came. Now, I'm not talking about myself. I do not practice what I preach when it comes to love. I will be the first to admit it. So don't hold me accountable for that. But for those of you out there who need sound advice from an objective listener, an objective viewer, the bottom line is, I'm here for you. I'm here. My man Don Juan LaGreca, part of the Michael K. Show on 98.7 FM in New York. Did you know that Don Juan LaGreca spent many, many years lacking love? Many, many years lacking love. And then I told him, I said, look, you got to slick that hair back. You got to rock that goatee. You got to make sure that you style and profile the way Don Juan LaGreca can do it. And lo and behold, the man's married, got 2 beautiful kids. He's smiling ear to ear every single day. You know why? Because he listened to the Love Doctor. That's why. So I just want y'all to know that. The Love Doctor is in the house. Ladies, you need to call up. You need to listen, because let me tell you something right now. Some of y'all be picking up the phone or you bother your man on a Sunday morning. You don't do that. NFL season ends, once the Super Bowl ends, guess what? It comes to Saturday night NBA basketball on ABC. Don't bother that man on Saturday night. But you can use that to your advantage. If you do it right, ladies and gentlemen, I could show you, ladies rather, I could show you how to get your way Tuesday through Saturday afternoon. You get whatever you want. Football season, Tuesday through Saturday night. You can get whatever you want. Y'all don't know the tricks. The Love Doctor's here for you. Love Doctor's here. Now get on out of here. I'm the Love Doctor. 888-SAY-ESPN. That's 888-729-3776. Let's get back to the calls, man, because LeBron James is a hot topic of discussion. Tom Brady is a hot topic of discussion. Comments that I made about MLB Hall of Famers is a hot topic of discussion. All of these things are things you got to worry about. And by the way, speaking of my man Michael K., who's right at my left, let me tell y'all something right now. Do y'all know that y'all don't get to question me about anything but baseball? Because I learned from him. So if you question me, you're questioning Michael K. And God forbid you'd ever think of doing such a thing. You know better. You know better. 888-SAY-ESPN. That's the number to call up. Stephen A. Smith Show, ESPN Radio. Back to your calls. Let's go. Let's go to Bugsy in Indiana. You're live with Stephen A. Talk to me.
What's going on, my man?
I'm good, man.
I just want to let you know that I think LeBron signing with the Warriors is a wonderful decision.
Really?
Yeah.
You should why can't he
ring chase like everybody else?
Why can't he what?
Ring chase.
Let me ask you a question. If LeBron James were to join, and it's not his story, in fairness to LeBron James and his people, he has nothing to do with this story. There's a story emanating out of the Bay Area because the Golden State Warriors leaked it to a reporter there. So understand that's what is going on here. This has nothing to do with anything. Nobody's quoted LeBron James or sources from LeBron James' camp or anything like that saying he's remotely interested in the Warriors. So let's be fair to him in that regard. But hypothetically speaking, based on what you're just saying to me, you talk about ring chasing. If LeBron James were to go to the Golden State Warriors, please tell me anybody in NBA history who will have ring chased to that degree. Tell me who.
Charles Barkley. He
Never.
tried to go ring
Not
chasing
true.
Houston.
Hold on. Tell me. Not true. Number one, Charles Barkley didn't already have 3 rings. Number 2, he wanted out of Philadelphia because it was complete chaos. He landed in Phoenix. Okay? They did not win the title in Phoenix. All right? And then ultimately he was moved out of there in the twilight of his career to join Houston.
But
He
you got
wasn't
all
at the
these
top.
guys.
Time out, Bugsy. He wasn't at the top of his game, universally recognized as one of, if not the top player in the game when that move to Houston was made. That is not true.
But you get the Warriors. That's a solid team. And they add KD. They're no different than the Yankees when they add everybody.
Well, that was George Steinbrenner paying folks a boatload of money they couldn't get from anywhere else. In today's NBA, if you're a marquee player, all of y'all get the same amount of money. You'll all get max deals. They went to the Yankees because they went to the Yankees because the Yankees were willing to pay money nobody else was willing to pay. That's entirely different than being able to go anywhere knowing you're going to get your money and picking or choosing a team strictly because they give you the best chance of the ring.
Everybody's just crying over it, man. Everybody just needs to do what the Warriors are doing.
Bugsy, I just schooled you. Have a nice day. Goodbye. Bugsy wants to sit up there and get all emotional. You ain't got anything to say of content, so you come up with excuses. Doesn't work on this show. I don't play that. Let's go to Michael in Montana. You're live with Stephen A. Talk to me.
Hey, how you doing, my guy? I just want to say, huge fan. Love hearing somebody with a strong opinion like yours.
Thank you.
Originally, I was going to talk to you about LeBron, but I got a question for you that's a little bit different.
Okay.
So, this year in the football world, we've noticed some really controversial play calling and refereeing done, both in college and in the NFL. So, let's say the referees have a bad game this Sunday. At what point do you think that these bigger programs like the NFL and D1 football, they start doing something like the FCS does, where they just kind of like do an all-star referee thing for their playoffs and their championship games, where they just pick the best from whatever league, put them together, they work one game, and then they swap it up again.
I don't know about that. I do think that both take the best of the referees that they have available for their important postseason games. But I don't believe that they'll ever graduate to the point where you're using the best of college and pro football to officiate these postseason games, because the rules in college football are somewhat different than the rules in the National Football League, and I think that they would refrain from such things.
That's just a sample of what you'll hear on the Stephen A. Smith Show. Weekdays at 1 p.m. Eastern on ESPN Radio and the ESPN app.